everyone. Good afternoon. I have the luxury of presenting this next panel. And with me and in order, I have Cedric. I'm sure you know. Everybody knows Cedric. Is the CEO of Siemens Digital Industries. In the center, I have the luxury of having Ali Peyrovi. Ali is the VP of Supply Chain and Manufacturing at PepsiCo.
Bit of noise.
And at the far end, I have Stuart McCutcheon. Stuart is VP of Industrial Metaverse, been in the company for a few months.
29 years.
29 years only. And is responsible of the Industrial Metaverse strategy. So, first of all, I'd like to start with Ali. Ali, first of all, welcome to Hannover Messe. Welcome to the Siemens booth.
So Thanks for having me.
Really happy of having you here. So, tell us a little bit about this project. What is this project interesting for PepsiCo? What do you want to get from this project that we were presenting at CES this year and now today at Hannover Messe?
Yeah, so the demand for our product is growing, but our footprint isn't. So the goal was to do it in digital first to make sure that we can expand manufacturing into the warehouse, make sure the lines that we were planning to add fits, figure out all the flow, figure out all the inefficiency, if you will, before we actually spend any money, any capital doing the actual work. So that was the main reason. And we had food, beverage, feeding into the same mixing center, a large warehouse. So we wanted to do it digitally first to reduce risk. The main reason. That was the project.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting thing that, of course, you can see in our booth, but Cedric, this is not just a digital twin of a line or a machine. I think this is something more than that. Why do we think that this is a milestone in our industrial metaverse strategy?
First, let me say thank you to Ali, because I mean, if we think of PepsiCo, we have a long-standing relationship, but the great thing is we're in deep admiration of what you do. I mean, you serve billions of customers, you have billions of data touch points, and the key question is how can we make that better, right? How do you find somebody you partner with to rethink the fast-moving consumer goods or packaged goods industry? And that's why, thank you for letting us work with you. And what is actually very interesting is we always envisaged to say, if we want to do something digitally, it should be simple, it should not be difficult. So we built the digital twin composer together with Nvidia and Pepsi, world premier, the first one which is using it. And you have to imagine it is that you can sort of simulate and build scenarios extremely fast and extremely quickly. And because you have that opportunity to do this, this is what we wanted to actually drive forward with.
I think we have a video here.
Yeah, we have a video, but we have better than a video. We have a video and we have a voiceover. And Stuart, which is sort of with his only 29 years old, exactly, background has built it forward. So let's roll the video and then tell us a bit what we've done with PepsiCo, which technologies, there's a lot of technologies coming together, and why this is super different.
So this is the application we developed for the showcase for PepsiCo. It's what we call a single pane of glass. So we can look at different plants. We can actually look at the supply chain flow between those plants and the goods in and out. We can look at different aspects. What's happening behind the scenes is pulling data from all different systems. So this is Team Center. All the information needs to be managed in a secure manner. You can fly through the current state of the plant. Now, this is leveraging our Nvidia partnership that's embedded. This is the current state. But one of the things you do when you look at future states, so I change the date, and in the future state, I've dropped a Gatorade line into this, right, into this plant. So I have this concept of effectivity. I can look at different things. But this is a single pane of glass. There's information coming from 20 different systems behind this. And every aspect, there's a digital twin. So this is a digital twin of actually the mixing tank that's happened. So it's a single experience that you're pulling all this information in a very seamless way. And this is just part of it. The full demo is available on the stand. Yes.
Stuart, thanks so much. That's fascinating. Ali, let's roll back a little bit on time. What were the operational challenges you're trying to solve with these models, this Industrial Metaverse project you did with us?
The biggest challenge was we were going to make a lot of decisions in a very fast way, and we wanted to get it right the first time and minimize our investment and mistakes. So the best way to do it is the digital first approach. Do it all in digital. Technology is there. The main reason we partner with Nvidia and Siemens to do it in a scaled way. Because we plan to not only do it in this region, we have many regions that we want to do this in. So we wanted to do it fast. I would say what it allowed us to do is make better decisions faster. And that was the main reason. Yep.
A good reason.
Good reason, yes.
And I know that we're still a little bit early in the process, early in the journey. We are starting with you. But can you advance us a little bit of the advantages and the gains we've got so far with us?
We were able to identify where we had bottlenecks as we add the new line. We realized we didn't have enough dock doors, so we ended up using an auto truck loading system that allowed us to speed up the pallet that's coming off the line, get it out the dock door. We were able to optimize it because we didn't have a lot of space. All of this inside the 12 weeks. So, and we were able to prove that everything fits and flow digitally first. So now I'm happy to report that that project is actually expanding. They're asking us to look at, can we add 2 more lines in the same facility? So that's phase 2. That's coming up.
That's coming up. Stuart, you've been in this project since day one. You're one of the sponsor executives of this project. So which are the main challenges we had to face so far?
So I think the biggest challenge was data. You know, Ali was very good. They gave us 3 simple plants. They're 50 years old. There was no 3D data. Data was in different silos. Some of it wasn't even electronic. So pulling all that data, we scanned the plants, we converted those to 3D models. We then used those to simulate, physics-based simulation and optimization of an as-is and to-be state. And this all had to be in a managed environment. And then just on top of that, we gave us 10 weeks to do it.
That's a lot of technology just working together seamlessly. Correct. From physical to digital, from digital to physical again, as many times as needed. So that's fascinating. And Cedric, but PepsiCo is not a small company. They have more than one plan, more than
They
two.
have 300 plans.
300 plans.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are the challenges we had to face to scale this?
I mean, look, you have to first prove that it works. And I think we proved it, right? I mean, the amount of CapEx to redeploy the lines, the idea was, how do I do with less footprints and more flexible environments? So the first thing was, can I actually make this profitable?
Yeah.
So, and I think it's 20% throughput increase, 15% less CapEx. It's actually a great sort of view to do it. The second thing, which is great, because it's modular, right? It's really the capability to put these things together. We can now apply it to other plants and actually sort of expand it. And that's what we really sort of are going for. And this digital twin composer is something which we developed with Nvidia and which really enables us to do this. And you're the first one we're deploying it with. We hadn't expected that you would move so fast, and we have been moving at that speed with you. And now the question is can we actually move it to the rest of the environment? And then there's certain really cool things you could do. I don't know. I mean, you have your Gatorade with you. Imagine that there's a big football game or a big soccer game, wherever country you're from. What happens is that for drinks, there's a spike. So that could be, I don't know, a Pepsi Max Mango, and we need to build this as soon and as close as possible. We build up the capacity and then ramp it back down again. And with that digital twin composer, we can do it. We can reconfigure the supply chain and we can reconfigure the environment. So PepsiCo is cool because they're fast, they give us tough problems, they're scalable, and they're looking into the future to be even more sort of adaptable. And these are making us the ideal partner.
Blocks.
Exactly, going in that direction, man. Ali, I don't know if you want to, if I said everything correctly or if you want to correct me.
Digital Composer allows us to streamline the workflow. So we are one of the first one, I understand, to use it. And you can kind of physically see the decisions you make and how they materialize, all in digital world before you actually go to physical. So that's the big advantage.
Ali, just one for you. We know that you are very aggressive in the way You want to deploy this technology across the different sites, but what's going to be the next plans for you? What do you have in mind?
So our goal this year is to scale this capability across not only North America, but LATAM, EMEA, and Asia Pac. Ever since the announcement in CES, all of our country, all of our GMs are asking for this capability because they have plans and they want to test it in digital first. So, and our goal is to not only scale it, but to show value right away. I would say show value and do it often.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to scale this.
Absolutely.
With the support of Siemens and other ecosystem partners.
And Stuart, you've been in the Industrial Metaverse since the beginning. So you're one of the executives that have been pushing for this technology, one of the visionaries. We have a lot of visionaries inside Siemens, but we have been one of the ones that
we're visionaries and we're executioners, and you have both. So you actually make things happen, which is very important.
What's next? What's the next thing that we should expect in the Industrial Metaverse from Siemens?
Well, I think this world's accelerating, right? Yeah. I think digital twins are going to get more comprehensive. You're going to be able to do physics-based simulation of every aspect to give you insights into products. AI, we're scratching the surface of what AI does. AI is really going to help us deliver this at scale and really accelerate it, right? And so there's all these multitude of new use cases. I could go on. There's around humanoid robots, virtual commissioning. We're envisaging all these new use cases that we haven't even thought about. Because once you bring all this information together, using our digital twin fabric, AI fabric, into a single pane of glass, it enables so many new things.
Yeah. And the last one for Cedric, I like you to use your crystal ball. And not just for this industry, we're explaining how this industrial metaverse can change the food and beverage industry, but how do you see industrial metaverse impacting the industry in 2-3 years?
So I have to give you a little secret. I am and was a gamer, right? And I love playing SimCity. I love playing also the more sort of interactive, we cannot call them shooter, but real-time 3D sort of
first person.
And the dream was always, could we make our industry as fast, as capable, and as much capable of looking into the future than anything else? And we have achieved that. And I think this is what we really have done. This is we talk this ultra-realistic 3D perspective with the capability to simulate, because what we do is actually, we call it shift left. We shift the problem from solving it in the real world into the digital world. And in the digital world, you're not constrained by brick and mortars, you're constrained by how much compute power you throw at a problem. And it's been one of the most exciting partnerships, one of the most exciting capabilities we have, because we've shown on how fast this is possible. And I don't think we had a launch which has generated more interest in a short period of time. Yeah. We have 350 customers which are wanting to work with us at the moment, and we have blocked the rest because we said, look, we have to consume that. Pepsi being our absolute number one, you are our number one, and we're working with you. But this has really hit a nerve. And I think that for us to actually do exactly what we have is to understand the real world, build sort of the digital world, to have the digital twin, accelerate them with AI, and really have a bottom line impact is something which is super powerful. And I have to say, we couldn't have done it without you guys, Stuart, and definitely a customer which is pushing us. But this is the new standard, and you should have a look at it, because I think it's super impressive.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Just to close this panel, it's been a luxury having you three. I would like to encourage you just to step by the CPG booth. Mm-hmm. We have an amazing demonstration of a pop-up factory, also done in partnership with PepsiCo, that shows how can we do a fully automated lights-off factory running with AI. So that's a really interesting thing to watch. But also you have all the projects that we've done with PepsiCo. Just thanks so much. We love having customers like PepsiCo that they push us, that they let us show all our technology. And I wish the rest of the audience an amazing Hannover Messe. Thanks so much.